Greetings, I am Liz.
And I am Scandal.
Oh, lovely. That was very, very nice. Very nice.
I worked very hard on that, don't you know? I've had no life, and this is the only thing that I get to do with my time. So watch me crack, yeah.
And let's play a game together. All right, so welcome back. No. That's not what I meant.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry. Pinned on top of her, unable to move, frantically, with her face plastered into your ear. I'm so sorry, you yell into her ear.
Her.
Ow. Hey.
Ow.
Oh! I don't blame you, actually. I look like I should have gotten married a long time ago.
It's okay, I'll tell you I look old.
It's alright, so you don't have to feel bad, and I'm going to reinforce to the reader that I am supposed to look old, and that I should have been married, and that I'm actually a disappointment because I'm not married and that I don't have a family, and it's a thing you should be concerned about.
Or
Actually.
that, I haven't done all of these things, but that's okay because I'm available to you. Ha! Or the, oh yeah, I'll tell you I look old because mature women have to look old, but I'm clearly self-deprecating.
Also, it could be another thing, too. I look like I should have gotten married a long time ago. I'm marriageable material, and no one's done it yet.
That too.
Yeah,
But
that
no
one.
one's asked. Oh, no, I'm sorry if I offended you, Louisa. I'm very bad at asking the questions.
As a matter of fact, yes. Yes,
Ah.
you are.
Yes, you did.
And you answered and asked. Well, I
Answered.
answered in an interesting way, and you know what? This just sucks.
You know what? You're bad at asking the questions, and you did offend me.
It's fine. I do want to be a mother someday. I am not creeping out my voice actor at all. I'm fine. It's something I've always wanted to happen.
You can't do anything. It just happens.
It's not like, there aren't people who actually go and they go just get themselves pregnant and that's a thing they do. Like, I have heard, now I don't know people specifically, but according to what I understand, there are some people who go, I don't want a partner, but I want a baby. I don't want to get married.
Baby.
And so what I did is I went and either I asked somebody to have sex with me, or I went to a sperm bank and I got a donor. And that's what happened. Like I've heard some of those instances where that happened. Now, as far as I understand, it's not very common, but that doesn't mean that isn't an option.
Yeah, so say people can buy in vitro fertilization by themselves.
Oh yeah, it's not required.
Where they have to do, as far as I understand, where they have to do a lot of things to get, to adopt a child. In vitro, you just pay for the procedure and get it done. You have to have sperm available, so you have to either get, like a donor who will just give you sperm, or you have to go to a sperm bank and acquire the sperm. But, you can just buy it. You don't have to be cleared in any way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, want it to happen someday, but it's never just happened. I don't know. If I just work hard enough, maybe it'll just happen. Because I won't be participating in any way.
Come home from work. Oh my God.
You could do this. My friend's gonna die.
Part of the reason why I'm really, really bothered about this again is going, we're not thinking about having a child and going through the initial process of what it's like to have a baby, and honestly, how many hours you really, they were going, new parents, you can totally see them, and it's yeah, because they're exhausted, because babies sometimes, they need to eat a lot.
There are two types of parents that I am familiar with on their way to parenthood. Like the pre-parents that want to be parents, if you will.
Right.
The ones that want a baby, and they're not really thinking about a kid. And the ones that want a kid, but aren't really thinking about a baby. And then there's the ones who have become new parents, who are thrilled as hell to have a baby. They may or may not be a good parent by some people's estimations, but they're just super freaking happy to have a baby, and then as soon as they don't have a baby anymore, they're frustrated.
Yes.
And then others who go, I don't want all this baby nonsense, can't I just get to the child part, where we hang out and can speak to each other and share things?
This is where I just guys, adoption.
It doesn't
for the love
mean
of God.
those are the only types at all, but of the people who seem wildly unprepared for the experience, or that seem really just frustrated with their experience, those are the two. The ones who are either all I wanted was the child that would then turn into an adult, that would be, a person in the household. And the other one's going, all I wanted was the accessory that was a baby, that was something that was completely and utterly dependent on me and unconditionally and unjudgmentally interacted with me at all times.
And then my other response is to go get a dog.
Dogs still have ideas about what's okay.
Yeah, but they're still gonna have less ideas compared to
a person.
A person,
It's
like,
true.
which is horrible, and I'd never want to do that. Honestly, I'd be like, go get a therapist. Like, it sounds like you have some issues, but because I don't want people manipulating or hurting animals either. Because a lot of them really they are heavily dependent upon you, and a lot of people isolate them or hurt them or don't pay attention to them or they get sick. And
However, a lot of people who just want companionship, an animal is a great idea. If you want someone to dote and love on that is going to basically be the same throughout the relationship, a pet is a great option. They do not grow and change the way a human child does.
No.
The way a baby does.
However, you've again though got to be careful depending on what pet you get for their needs and their care. You've still got to think about it. Like this idea they're going
again.
Yeah.
They won't change.
Yes.
What you get is what you'll have to do the whole time.
Yes. Come home from work, see my son or daughter running towards me.
My young Enby.
My young Enby. Welcome home, Mommy, they would say.
Because that's how that would work.
Because I'm not going to have the baby here in this relationship.
I love that.
Because honestly, I'm also just like, are you just a big lesbian, Louisa? Or are you just, I don't know. You have some women who are like, I would love to have a child, but I don't want a child. I don't want to have a child, which is totally fine. And I'm assuming, obviously, certain things about anatomy and what Louisa has. But I'm just like, that is a thing to consider in regards to some cis women where they're like, I'd love to have a baby. I do not want to have a baby. Thank you. So, yes, motherhood is at the top of my wish list.
How does this follow from you offended me to motherhood is at the top of my wish list?
My whole soul's coming out of my face.
Again, I'm sorry. Could you let go of me? Oh God, you saw what I did to Rena. No!
Time
Louisa
to smother him.
puts her hand over his face. Ah!
Him.
Manages to hold him in place despite his perfect sport physique. And with one arm.
Muscles.
Him, you are a titan, and I am at your will, your mercy. To my surprise, she pins my head down to her chest. So she had to really lean up to get to our ear because we were down at her clavicle. Or like she shoves your shoulders down and puts your head into her chest. Anatomy relations are very important to me because I'm not very tall, and I have some very tall friends. So all these things, I'm like, I need to know where your body is, okay? It's important to me.
And it is actually really important in regards to stories, too, because sometimes you're just like, hey... It all starts getting really nonsense.
Your head was on their shoulder, and you're laying on top of them, and then your head was down in their chest, but you didn't move. How long, flexible... How did you get there?
Well, you see, what happened is I'm a turtle, and I sucked my neck...
Perfect, I got it now. Okay.
into my shell, and then it went poink.
All of these romance scenes that I've seen, they just need turtles, so the head can just be wherever they want it to be. It's fine. And the body doesn't have to move at all.
Honestly, I'm trying to remember, there's some really fun looking, like, soft shell turtles that I feel like people should go and look up. Like, they just they look super wild. Like, there's, like, the leaf head turtle or whatever they are. Like, there's some really cool looking ones, and they just look bizarre as crap.
Turtle OCs, so you don't have to worry about head placement when you're
pretty
cuddling.
much. This is what you're in for.
She pins my head down to her chest. I feel her soft hand against my cheek. Her glove. I feel her glove on my cheek.
Is that cotton?
I feel her soft cotton hand against my cheek. I am as red as a tomato now.
Because I can see myself.
I say, yeah.
I'm a turtle slug.
How do you see yourself? Eye stalks, looking at yourself. Totally that red. I assume I'm as red. I think I'm as red. I must be as red. Anything, any qualifier to suggest it's an idea.
Don't be sorry. Young man!
Young man!
You are merely speaking the truth! I said, young man!
Wait. Going, like, for having a family someday. That's speaking the truth. Like, for having a family someday is the truth.
You're speaking truth to my power.
Truth to power, yes.
I guess that's why I'm so good at my job.
Because you speak truth. You speaking truth makes me good at my job.
What? Oh my God, this conversation. I'm fine. I channel my mother. Oh my God.
There it is.
I channel my motherly instinct to my patients.
They're all my
that I
children.
all get to, like, walk away from, and I only have shifts with, and I don't spend a lot of my time, and I only see them for a certain period of time.
I have heard so many people saying that what they really wanted was to be a grandparent. So, like, I have heard every grandparent in my family and in the families around me, extended relatives and things like that, you know, that sister-in-laws going, once they got there, they're like, what I actually wanted was to be a grandparent, because a grandparent gets to enjoy all the cool shit of the adorable baby. I'm using the standards of people, what I've heard from people, of the mile, you know, the mile markers of accomplishment, you know, the fun things where the kid is into their super, you know, nerd outs of this thing that I'm hyper focused on when they start going to school, when they become a person, when they start sharing their hobbies, and when they really become a conversationalist that you can interact with. But they don't have to do any of the burden of getting up in the middle of the night, of taking care of the kid or taking him to the hospital when they're sick, of having to run, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 days in a row without being able to rest or function. Like, they were just like, what I wanted was having access to a kid that I loved and ostensibly loved me back, but not having to wear myself out for it at all. Having no obligation to exhaust myself and being able to leave when I'm done. That is what I have heard most people who I've known who have had kids say. They're like, God. And all the people that have turned into grandparents that I know, they were like, what I've always wanted is to be a grandparent, and I didn't realize it when I was young. What I wanted was the grandparent experience. And
it's again, I had like this weird level of like, I just don't want to be that committed, and like that involved.
If it's organized as a single family home and you you know, have jobs and things, there's this level of labor that is exhaustive when you do not have the village raising the child, if you will, when you don't have community, because you do have mothers and fathers, parents that can't get enough sleep, that can't get enough, you know, recuperation time, that can't get enough decompression time. And so they really are running on lower resources and being less than themselves for sometimes a few years at a time. And it's sort of ridiculous. No one should after that. I hear some people go, but that's how it is, and going, yeah, but if you had more support, say if you had a multi-family home, if you had access to, you know, aunts or uncles or your siblings or whatever, other people who could help support, so you could just get 8 hours of sleep and your baby would also be cared for. If you had either a trusted, you know, a nanny or au pair, just other support, so that you could still take care of yourself and bring your whole self to that kid.
Because there's also
and that the other adults involved with them could also bring their whole selves to that kid.
Right. Well, and there's also that thing too that I found to be really frustrating sometimes too, where people are like, if I don't raise my kid, I'm not worth anything. And it's like, not every, excuse me, like raising
Parenting
or
looks like a lot of
parenting
different
can
things.
look like so many different things. And also I feel like more people don't really realize just how difficult this can really be. And also it's like, when you're an asshole, you should be able to walk away so you're not an asshole to somebody who doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Fair. This is a big conversation. Anyway, channeling the mother instinct to my patients.
Yeah, that's why Rosewood administrators keep voting me as best nurse.
I'll just humble brag right now. It's fine.
That's all I'm doing.
That's fine.
I mean, I guess at least she's aware of her strength. Like, that is
good.
the thing of being like, I'm glad you're aware of what you're capable of. Like, I always get this frustration where people will talk about things that they're good at personally, and you just kind of go, yeah, but you recognize that, and that's something, a skill that you have built up and that you know you can perform.
And I was going to say, that may have come off wrong. I didn't mean that she shouldn't know what's valuable about her or why she keeps getting voted best nurse or that she can say it, because, again, there is this culture of never, you know, sing your own praises. I was going to say, but I don't see why she's telling it to a 16-year-old patient.
I also don't get this line. Wouldn't you agree that I'm the best nurse? Because, okay, guys, we've pointed this out in other games. We're going to point it out here. We haven't seen any evidence to this effect. All we've got is Miki saying that Louisa's awesome, and that's about it. Like, I'm not seeing what defines Louisa as the best nurse. We don't even have standards in regards to in-universe for what nurses really, a good nurse even looks like. So,
let alone the best nurse.
Yeah.
What we've got is
two
nurses and very little contact with either of them, and very, very, very little functional nursing job contact with either of them. So, yeah, best nurse.
What's the matter?
You're pinning my face to your chest. I can't breathe. Yes! Oh my God, I guessed. I can't breathe because just, you know, because your tits are huge. Or because it's that thing, you have such a strong motherly instinct, you're smothering me.
There's that one too.
You're just a blonde bombshell that doesn't know your own passion
Hey.
and enthusiasm and strength.
A
You're
fembo,
Barbarella.
if you will.
Could be.
A fembo, if you will.
Fembo. Yep. I can't breathe.
Oh no! I'm sorry!
That's a really strong reaction. Also, we're still really close. That was really loud. Louisa loosens her grip around my head. She holding my head with both hands into her tits? Or just one? Because that also would affect how hard I was being pressed my face into the cloth.
It hurts.
Honestly. It's okay. It would have had to be two. She would have had to be moving both of her hands away from our body, one on the back of our head to hold us in place, and the other one we can feel her soft skin against our cheek. Because you can't hold a person's head down unless he's completely sideways, but then he'd be able to breathe. So if he's completely sideways and you were holding him down by his cheek so we could feel your soft, cloth against his skin, then he would be able to breathe. But if he wasn't, you have both your hands smashing his head into your chest. All right, there we go. That's the image. Mr. Just... the whole conversation. I should have been...
Yeah, you should have.
I should have. I should have just grabbed my t-shirt and shoved it in my face and just been like,
No. I would have helped you method act.
I would have just shoved my face into my friend's chest and screamed in there.
Perfect.
It's fine. It would
That'd be
work.
great.
Actors suffer such challenges.
Oh, wow, it's so sad. All right.
All right, she loosens her grip around my head. Whew. I thought I was going to die of tits. Oh. I tried to do it serious. I couldn't.
Some people going, but that's a perfect way to die.
No, but I thought I was going to die of tits. And then I was going to stay straight, and then I laughed. I couldn't do it.
I thought I was going to die of tits.
It's so good.
You still can't do it. I love it. All right. So, here, let me help you to your bed.
I'm already in the bed.
Oh, my God.
Did you take me out of the bed to stand up?
Yes.
When you backed up, did you throw me on the floor?
Louisa, get on the ground, bitch!
Louisa releases his head. I'm so sorry. Throws him off onto the floor, crashes into the wheelchair on the way down, and then into the floor. No wonder I'm going to be here so long. Doctor going, I know how the nurses are going to treat you and how you're going to treat yourself. I know a himbo when I see one. You're going to be here for 6 months, dear, before you're better.
You'll be fine.
I'm sorry about all your relapses now. I am.
Except also, I'm not.
Also not. That's a really, really good paycheck for all of us.
It looks great.
Oh.
Here, let me help you to your bed.
Louisa skillfully assists me into my bed, which I was suddenly out of, even though I was in it on top of her, and places the blanket over me. Do I still have shoes on? Have I ever had shoes on? Have I been barefoot, wearing a bib napkin this whole time and nothing else?
And I don't clean myself except once.
Except for when she cleans me.
Like
chocolate.
Chocolate. I think that really is it. Like, I'm just fine. It's fine. Feeling better?
I'm breathing more.
Good.
Yep. I feel like a lot more breathing is happening.
It will make you realize just how precious that is before I kill you next time.
Much better. Thank you again.
Now, I'm off to see other patients. Are you gonna be okay here by yourself?
I mean, the music guy is still in the corner tootling away, so I think so.
Music guy, murder him. It'll be great and fantastic to see you die.
Just go ahead and murder him. You can do it, I know you can.
Honestly,
all right, by myself. I'll be fine. If there's a call button now. Now there's a call button. How long have we had a call button? Oh my God. Call buttons would have helped so many things in this hospital. Oh my God.
No, I'm sorry. We don't have call buttons around here. We have panic buttons.
I'll be fine. If I need anything, I'm just going to press this newly discovered and introduced plot item called the call button. I'll just press that.
It'll be great. Fantastic.
Be no problem. I need to go to the bathroom, and I also need a bath and to change my clothes, though.
Ding!
So, can you send someone else in for that? Hey, when you leave the room, and immediately the call button lights up. I forgot to ask when my next bath is, because I know I'm not allowed to clean myself. They leave. Ding! I have to go to the bathroom immediately, because now I'm cold, and I have to pee. I can't stand it.
You helps them, leaves again. Ding! I'm hungry.
I'm really hungry. You should go. You said you had other patients to help. You called me. I called a nurse. I was right by your door. Oh, I thought I would get a different nurse. You know what? I've actually heard that before from people where there's this experience where they don't realize that the call button just calls everyone. And so that the one that's closest will often just go in. So they're like, you'll leave and I'll be calling a different nurse. And they're like, I'm your nurse. That's I'm like your waitress. Not because, I serve you.
If I am available and I am closest, it's
gonna be me.
It's gonna be me.
You don't understand that we're not just a bunch of people walking around, that you get a person in the pool when you ding the button. There's a system. All right, I'll just gonna press the call button, and in the next one, when we press the call button,
we might get the same nurse. So thank you very much for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. We've got some also stuff we'd love for you to check out. If you go check out our Coolfire Patreon, we'd really appreciate it. We got some link subscription down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!